Welcome to what? Series 14 and number 1, it's a new one. It's a new series for you and it's all about Genesis. So we've gone right back to the beginning. And I just want to tell you every day is special. Not every day is the same. Let's look at this day concept from Genesis chapter 1. Every day is a creation of God. We've got to remember that. And Genesis 1:5 says, God called the light day and the darkness he called night. And there was evening and there was morning the first day. Now, the Hebrew term for day is the word yom. I'm not exactly sure whether that should have an accent to it in Hebrew. I'm not great at accents. And it communicates a concept of time. Yom is translated as day or time or year and can be expressed in either as a point in time or a period of time, such as during those days, or specifically it can stand for the time of daylight, or it can stand for a time of 24-hour period, or it can be an undetermined period of when somebody lives, even centuries. Now, are we all confused? A particular point in time, in other words, it may mean years rather than days. Okay, this is now going to get confusing. No, it's not. What we're talking about here is God creating. Daylight hours, maybe 24 hours, whatever, however he did it, he created. Each part of dayness or the time is God created, thus it's part of God's plan and will and purpose. It says in Romans 8:28, for we know that all things God's works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. For those God foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the likeness of his Son, that he might be firstborn among many brothers. And those he predestined, and he also called, and those he called, he also justified, and those he justified, he also glorified. Okay, it's a big picture, isn't it? This whole thing, it starts with a day, one word, and all of a sudden we've got this really big stuff. Time is part of God's creative process and part of his knowledge. And one of the theological viewpoints about God is that he doesn't only know the future, he knows all of the possibilities of what the future could have been. And I find that a bit bizarre. I don't want to limit God in any way, but he knows what I could have been. If God created time, why does he have to be held and controlled by it when he probably isn't? It's us that's controlled by time. The future is just a concept on our part. God isn't limited to being within our concept of time. Now that's a bit of a spin out, isn't it? If God is the same yesterday, today and forever, then he could actually be there all at the same time. Now I don't know where to put that in my science fiction sort of brain. For us, time is one line. We don't know how God views it. What we do know is what he revealed to us. He made days. He created the days. He says they are good. Now let's talk about this good concept. In verse 3, it says, God said, let there be light, and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from darkness and called the light day and the darkness night. Yeah, we got that. And there was evening, there was morning, the first day. Okay, it's good. How do we understand that description? It's just good. And then he says in verse 9, and God said, let the water under the sky be gathered into one place and let the dry ground appear. And it was so. God called the dry ground land and gathered the waters into places he called seas. God saw it was good. Okay. He does it again in verse 11. Then God said, let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their various kinds. And so it was. The land produced vegetation, plants bearing seeds according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. There's the concept again. It's good. It appears to me that this word good is God's ultimate standard. God made it and it's good. That's it. Doesn't say it was perfect, but hey, if God made it, well, probably perfect comes into it. It's interesting, we place a moral quality on good. Be a good boy, or that being good is the opposite to being bad, or we even think that good is the opposite of sin. We make things, and they're amazing. Look at car advertising. It's fantastic, fantabulous, amazing. And God makes a horse, and it's good. It's just good. Movies we see are spectacular or inspiring or entertaining. God makes a sunset and says, yeah, it's good. Freezers and fridges, unique, incredible, phantasmagorical, however they're described. God makes snow and says it's good. Yeah. He seems to undersell himself, doesn't he? No, we tend to oversell what we can do. God's standard of manufacture is good. He doesn't need adjectives to further describe it. He doesn't even use very good. He just says good. God created a day and it was good. God created every day and it's good. Yeah. We need to be thinking about that kind of stuff. Let your thought processes go on how good God is. So to say you're having a bad day is to say God's creation isn't good enough. Oh, that's a weird concept, isn't it? There are no bad days, just bad experiences. And perhaps they happen on good days if we got that. So, when we say as a greeting statement, have a good day, or a farewell statement, have a good day, or good day to you, it could be emphasising God's creative amazingness and providence toward us. So I want you to have a good day and remember where it comes from. An amazing God.